No one was going to build one. No one wanted to challenge themselves to build one, except for this man right here. Zeus is here. Zeus, the F550, all built, ready to go. Obviously, we've come out of the Chevy 2500. Reasons for that are, we needed more payload. I want to carry toys around. The kids are getting older, their toys are getting bigger. And we want to stay fully legal on the road, fully insured. And we've teamed up with a heap of great companies. We've got them down at the beach today so they can talk through exactly what they've done on this build from a technical point of view, and I'll tell you why we did it from a practical point of view. All right, guys, we've got Damien down here from ATA. These guys got the truck from America to Australia, fully converted, and the process was a dream.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. Look, obviously, first one here, 2025 F550. A lot of firsts last year while we're getting this truck here. We learned a little bit. Obviously, Jake was really patient. We really thank you for your patience, mate. But we got through it and we managed to deliver an amazing truck. Huge GVM, huge GCM. Not much of the 550 Lariat left in this. This is a whole trim level of its own. These guys have done an amazing build and I can't wait to see what they've put in it.
And these guys got in here. Thanks so much for doing that, mate.
Thanks, mate.
It's the first built in the country, so yeah, let's get this thing on the road. He's been the mastermind behind the build, pretty much turning my dream into reality. So we've got Carl down here from EC and Liquid Springs.
There you go, mate. Yeah, look, super happy how it's turned out. Obviously, we've been in this space for a little while. This bigger truck scene. You came to us a little while ago. It's been a bit of a journey, but we sat down and went through exactly what you wanted, and this is the result. We couldn't be happier. I know you're super impressed. I'm happy, but obviously the big trucks, fairly new into Australia. That whole scene, we've done a couple and touched on it, but nothing like this. Just for obvious reasons, the GVM and the payloads of why we've done it. And I think we've hit the goal.
Yeah, we've nailed it. So let's head over the truck now and see exactly what EC and Liquid Springs have done to the truck. Yeah, so what do we got here, mate?
Yeah, the front end looks pretty badass. Covered in Baja Design lights. We worked with Ash up the road from Baja Design Australia. Up on our EC roof rack up the top with the backbone, we've got a bunch of Bajas. What have we got? A couple 6s, couple 9s, a couple 4s.
Yeah, a couple of 4s, yeah. We went with four 6s and 4 4s just for something different.
Yeah, I reckon you might be scared of the dark, this bloke.
Yeah, nah.
Moving down, you can see the Sandy in the full bonnet change, which is pretty cool. That was actually your idea. You came to me, I went and sourced it, but full fiberglass bonnet. This is out of the States, been wrapped and fitted by us. Moving down on the grille, obviously the Lariat comes with a full chrome grille, painted and wrapped in the Sandy top, and a bit in the Ford badge just to really customise it up. Moving down again, more Baja Design lights, some 4s, some 6s, and big carbon winch in there. The bar is...
Yeah, Outback Kitters. So we got Mike down here. He'll explain the bar soon, so we'll go through that. But also, guys, with the bonnet, it's actually functioning as well. So those intakes actually do cool the motor down. And cool. The boys at G&L have jumped under that hood, they've tweaked it, and she's driving pretty nice now. And guys from WC Fab have also done all the pipes under there too. So thanks, Reese from G&L.
Yeah, obviously being the 550, these are based as sort of a commercial vehicle in the States, so they do come with the standard output engine. Yep. A lot of the other F trucks come with the high output. So being the standard output engine, they are sort of detuned, you could say, but yeah, Reese's fixed that up for us.
He's definitely fixed that up.
She's certainly high output now.
Yeah. If you look underneath as well, guys, we've got the BDS, steering stabs, and Outback Kitters, and we've sourced some remote res steering stabilisers just for something different as well, especially to help with these big tyres.
Yeah, exactly, why not? Right, mate, the suspension, where the magic really happens, Liquid Spring. We've dabbled in this heaps in the States in the 550, 350, 450s. There really is nothing better for these bigger trucks. So this is a 4-inch ride height kit, obviously available in a 2-inch. We opted with the 4-inch ride height. We can raise it up to about my height now, 8 inches.
This is the Kale height now, so.
It will drop right down to that sort of 0-inch or factory height lift.
Yep.
It's pretty cool to drive, yeah, the way it works.
Yeah, so coming out of the Chevy with the BDS was great, but like this is just second to none. We had the van coming up the beach yesterday, just over the washout, you can't even feel them. And also the ability to obviously lift and drop it down. Helps with the canopy as well, which we'll go through soon. But the ride quality is, second to none, especially with the big tyres as well. Yeah,
obviously Liquid Spring, coils out, leafs out. Being a 550 with nearly 5 tonne of payload, leaf springs are about this big in the back, so she ain't gonna ride well. So they're in the bin. Obviously it's adjusting 1,000 times a second to how you're driving. Like we said, adjustable, but just more handling, safety, comfort. Yeah. Especially when towing, the cars just don't move, so. Also in the front, not forgetting, Carly torsion sway bar, just to help again with that rock.
And while we're here, we may as well talk about these big chunky things right here. So obviously, comes out as a dually.
Yeah, coming out of the dually in the rear. So with the super singles, we actually take the rear in 1 inch and we bring the front out 8 inches. So we need these big flares. They're actually painted and wrapped in a plastic flare with the guard liners. So we do a full chop of the guard. We do some core support cut kits up here to allow these with full clearance when you're all the way down, let alone ride height. We chop a lot out of the front here and put our brackets on and seal it all up. Obviously, wheels and tyres, some more magic there. Super singles in the Goodyear, something that not many people have.
No, mate, we came out of the Chev, had 37s. I thought they were big. I think these are going to be amazing for beach, off-road driving. We bagged them out coming up here and it drove like a dream. There was no way I was getting bogged, and I can't see me getting bogged or needing the spare on the back, but we've got one anyway. Yeah,
they're actually, you know, the guys in the States laughed at us when we ordered a spare. They're a Kevlar sidewall, you know, they're military grade, 335 80/20, so they measure about a 41, 42 inch.
Yep.
The magic in this is the load rating, so over a 3-ton load rating per tyre, which is insane, which means we can lower it down and still maintain speed and load, which you can't do with any other LT tyre. So yeah, a lot of magic in the Goodyear G275s. Obviously the rims, these wheels are fully forged, one-piece 20-inch wheel. You can flip this and put it on the back and it maintains the same track, which is where the magic is. So obviously the front comes out, the back goes in, the dually comes off, and the super single wheel goes on.
And with that 3-ton load rating, that was again another big reason why we did go the 550, guys. We want to be legal, we want to be insurable, and I think this is the only way to do it and carry boats and all those sort of toys as well.
Yeah, and everything's just not working hard. It's very understressed. These wheels are, you know, not much over half load, which is, they're just not working hard, which is what you want when you're on the road in those remote areas.
And just a quick one before we move back, we got these Baja lights. I didn't use rock lights on this one for 2 reasons. Rock lights are generally just for looks and style. I've got 5 LP2s on each side of the truck, so when they are at night and I need to light up, I can light up not only under the truck, but all outside as well. So that's why we've gone the S2s instead of just normal rock lights. Yeah, so I definitely need some help getting in. We've thrown on the Amp XLs, drop downs. I think they're heaps more tidy than the normal ones. We had the normal ones on the Chevy, but obviously they tuck up in underneath this rock slider kind of thing.
The XLs drop down a little bit more as well, which is super handy. Up on the roof, mate, obviously the EC rack with the S2 Bajas all around in the work scene. Up on there, what do you got? Starlink. Obviously, mate, Starlink, it's changed the way we do things. It's super important to be connected on the road, eh?
Yeah, I reckon with the grille mount up there with the Starlink, obviously keeping comms, being able to do all our stuff while we're driving for car leaks, when we pull up, kids just want to play. Also got the UHF on the other side. Comms are second to none when you're traveling full time. You want to stay in touch, and obviously for safety as well. So when you are driving in the middle of Australia, the big trucks and all that sort of stuff, and obviously on the beach as well.
Absolutely.
So before we touch on the rear suspension, we've got the liquid rear bar as well. So we've needed this obviously with the 550s. They don't come with the rear bar, so we've thrown the liquid engineered one on.
Yeah, mate, yeah, out of the States, obviously, yeah, like you said, being a cab chassis, they don't come with a tow bar. Liquid Spring have their own tow bar. Yes, in the States, it can tow 10 ton, which is pretty wild. We've had it tested in Australia. It's fully 80 yard to 6 ton, so that's going to certainly tow anything you need.
There's no way my van will be more than 6 ton. Well, I hope not anyway. And also, guys, I run the Jenny now for 2.5 years. It's been amazing, it's been awesome, and it's probably all I'd ever run. But yeah, and I kind of need to drop it down a bit to allow for the height of this
steps
thing.
handy.
Yeah.
Right, mate, at the rear, we touched on it before, but again, liquid spring, super single combo. So it's like a 4-link system in the back, leaf springs in the bin. On the GVM, obviously, that's pretty much why we do this whole vehicle. You had it weighed the other day.
Yeah, so we came in at that 6.8. As it sits right now with the gear in it, that was just me in it, so we'd probably be rolling around at probably 6.9, probably up to that 7.4, 7.5 we have the van on as well. Yeah. And when I load the boat up with all the fish I'm going to catch, so.
Yeah, well, that's it. So call it a bit over 7 ton as it sits. Obviously the GVM on this one, we downgraded it to keep on the LR license, so 7.99 ton GVM. So you still got 600, 700, 800 kilos of payload.
Just crazy.
If you ever get stuck, we can up it to 8.8 ton GVM. So max axle, full GVM is 8.8 ton.
Yes. The
rear axle was actually rated to 6.2 ton. You're only at about 3.7 at the moment. So
if that, yeah.
Like we said before, guys, so understressed, under-engineered, that you're only at half the load. It's insane. So the brakes, everything, nothing's working hard.
And that just comes down to safety as well. Like obviously when your gear's working at its peak, stuff breaks, stuff goes wrong. So yeah, we got heaps of tonnage left. and it's been a massive journey to get here. It's been over the Christmas break as well, so we've come in, we've come out, but I mean, I couldn't be happier. Thanks so much. Liquid Springs are working amazing. We're fully legal and we're fully ready to go. So mate, thanks so much.
Yeah, mate.
Appreciate it.
Really
Appreciate
real
it.
well. Mate, go grab Jake, talk about this canopy, because this thing's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait. But before we get into the canopy, let's head back to front, get Mike down here and we can go through the bar and all the Apex stuff.
Called me up, you asked what you needed, I said no. Called me another 3 times and I eventually caved in, but obviously this is a pretty cool project that we really want to get behind. You know, we had a pretty good format for the F trucks in general, but to go the 450, 550 world, there's a few things that we had to change to make you a custom bar. It was really cool having you, Carly, and the family come in to design what you wanted. So obviously we really wanted to go and maximize our approach angle, but also not compromise on strength. You guys do a lot of remote touring and we want to make sure that you have all the gear on there to get you out of a jam. So what we ended up doing here is, you know, set a good foundation with the steel winch cradle. We have 7-ton rated recovery points. You're gonna need absolutely every bit of this in case you ever get bogged. I feel sorry for the poor sucker that has to try and snatch you out.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Look, obviously we can go house the big mammoth 20,000 pound carbon tank winch, right? Then of course, the lightweight aluminium bar. So we've got the perfect compromise between aesthetics, but also strength. These can hit an animal and not dent at all, which is really good, that's proven. But yeah, we had to do a lot of funky stuff here because what you've got on the side here with the flares, this is not conventional at all. So to fit these mammoth wheel and tyre combo that you wanted, you needed these custom flares which cut into the guard. So there was a lot of shape and measurement to try get this right. So we didn't have something that overhung too much, but
and I think I only gave you one chance at it, didn't I?
You did. Yeah, no, we didn't have a chance for a prototype. We had to get it right on the first go, and then
it was straight into it.
And then obviously, you know, you're a little bit afraid of the dark, so we had to throw all the lights on. But honestly, I think utilising these inner lights as well from Baja Designs, these are the LP4s. It just filled out that dead space. We got pure, you know, push through for airflow here. So these things are very hungry for air when you're on the road and when you're pushing them hard. So I'm really impressed with how it came out, mate.
Yeah, and I'm just touching on the Baja lights. Look, you don't need this many lights, okay? But I needed it.
Yeah.
And having these ones built into the bar, look, if you just want to go a nice clean bar now with no lights, maximum airflow, having these LP4s and obviously the S8s on the side, that's more than enough light with these, I mean, Baja lights are killing it, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and you know, as I said, the ones on the side here for us is, our philosophy's always been, it's not the kangaroo 10 kilometres in front of you. This will probably like fry a kangaroo with the amount of light that comes out of these, but it's the wildlife on the side of the road that's about to be in front of you. That's where we see most impacts occur, you know, and usually it hits the rear on the side and you get a dent on the door from the tail. But we wanted to make sure that you have that visibility so you can see what's coming up ahead. But more importantly, it gives them the visibility to get off the road and follow that light too. So, and I'm really stoked with how this came up, especially the colour coding, man. That wouldn't have been an easy feat.
She's been hard. Once again, came to Mike, wanted to do something different, a remote res steering save. They do have them in the States, but obviously I wanted Outback Kitters to make me one, and yeah, he smashed it out of the park.
You keep asking me for the impossible. I'm glad that we're able to deliver. Look, well, first of all, the dual steering stabilisers, they'll really go and help minimise that steering wheel feedback. So as you're hitting those corrugated roads, as you're hitting into, you know, ditches and rivets, so that's going to minimise that. It's going to give you a lot more control. The extra reservoirs with all the extra oil in there is going to help keep that shock fade from happening as well. So this has been like a really fun project to do. Unfortunately, this is a random one-off product, but everyone's now going to start asking for them. So
got to put them on the shelf now.
I think we've got to get ready for mass production for remote resi dual steering stabs.
And that just goes back to that. I just didn't want something working hard or at its extreme. So when we are doing those corrugated roads for 2-3 hours and these steering sabers are working hard, it's going to have more than enough oil to keep it cool and keep them working properly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is definitely not the hardest project I gave you.
No.
So we'll head over now and check out what Apex Designs has done for my air system. So with the air system, want something fast and easy. Okay, so we've sourced the Oasis. It's the biggest compressor I get, and we got in the 24 volt system. So what I've done, guys, mounted it here. I've got 2 more plates. This is for the front 2 wheels. This is for the rear 2 wheels. But I needed somehow to get the air to those wheels.
Yeah, so another brand that pretty happy to distribute and bring into the country is Outback Designs. Amazing product out of Salt Lake City in Utah. So they are very well known for their rapid tire inflation deflation systems and then also their compact hose reels. So they invented all this stuff. We're still trying to figure out a solution to rapidly deflate your tires. Now that's going to be I think that's a part 2, something custom I'm going to have to build for you there. But what we end up working with, a compressor that's probably borderline the first time I've ever seen it in a vehicle of this size as well. Like this thing's going to blitz up those tires really quick. And then we end up running a bunch of braided air lines from Apex to all 4 corners of the rig. And so what you're allowed to do now is use the regulators just to go and set a tyre pressure. And honestly, this is now hands-free inflation for your tyres. So it's a pretty cool thing to do.
So it's super easy, guys. I got 4, obviously Apex hoses here that Mike's custom made for me. They're about 1 metre long, all right? So quite simple. Grab them out. We have an inlet or an outlet straight under here. So plug him in, straight under there, straight to the tyre, plugs on there. Type my 60, 65 PSI, depending if I'm towing or not, into the morphlate, turn the compressor on and walk away. I don't think it can be any easier than that. And then also to deflate, exactly the same thing. Hook it all up, throw it in the morphlate, drop down to 30, it'll stop all ready to go.
Absolutely. I guess the biggest problem we're going to have is that you need to remember to take these things off and not start driving down the highway.
Yeah, that could
I'm
be
giving you
kind of
about
funny,
4 months until I get a call going, Mike, I need all new airlines. But
I might just get some spare ones now, I think.
Yeah, because I brought them with me to the beach.
Yeah,
but no, look, the cool thing about this system, if you got that the new high flow chuck from Outback Designs, and so what this ends up doing, it pushes the Schrader chuck in the core all the way in. So you actually get 50% more tyre inflation. You're letting a lot more air into the tyres. These things are big. They're going to take a good couple of minutes to pump up as well. But so we're just trying to do our part to keep you, getting back onto the road as quick as we can.
And I did test it, 20 to 60 PSI yesterday in 3 minutes, all 4.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I need one of these compressors on my
It's pretty
rig.
quick. And then also, we do travel with a lot of people sometimes. So once again, Apex, I've thrown a little hose reel in there. So then I can pump up my mate's tyres too, just so I'm not waiting around for them.
It's a weird thing with the hose reel is out of the 50 times I'd use them in a year, I'd probably say about 10 of those is actually pumping up tyres. So the hose reel's probably taken over from not just being a tool to go pump up your tyres, but also just blowing all the sand, dirt and dust out of your vehicle, off the kids, pumping up tyres, obviously, but pumping up all the kids' toys is really handy too. So yeah, definitely a handy thing to add to your arsenal here, mate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a one of a kind, and I think there's going to be a lot more because it's easy to use, simple and safe. And also something unique about this one, this is actually powered by the undersea battery system. There's a reason for that and we'll go talk about it now. Yeah, so I came to Mike, I told him I'm doing a lift-off canopy, but I still need power to use all the compressor and stuff, so.
Yeah, so the Outback Kitters underseat battery box, these have really surged in popularity lately, especially with people with tray canopy combinations. They want to put a lot of their power underneath the seats. It's utilising that dead space in the event that you do jack this thing off and you still have access to power on board to charge all your devices, still runs the twin compressor. And that way you can still have a fun day out on the beach or in a remote area without losing a few of those creature comforts or the necessities to make sure you're making the most of the day. So we managed to cram like 440 amps of battery underneath there. It's more than my caravan. But look guys, we work with some great battery companies as well to get a lot of power underneath there. And again, it's really handy for when you're going on those remote trips and keeping all your devices charged as well.
Yeah, and we'll definitely get this thing off one day and I'll let you guys see it. I'm pretty keen to see it as well, so.
Oh man, I reckon we're gonna have like 15 motorbikes and 4 quad bikes on the back at this rate.
Easy, bring it up the beach for a boys' day.
That'll be a real fun trip indeed, yeah.
One of the biggest ones we've done on the American platform. As you can see, it's quite the canopy.
This is my second canopy from you guys. I threw a massive custom list at you this time and he hasn't disappointed, mate. Amazing.
So this is a tray and canopy package. So it's a bolt-on jack-off system with the tray base underneath. Jake had some great ideas about the way he wanted to have water set up inside of this truck and be able to unload the canopy and then scoot into town, fill up the tanks with just a tray on the back, come back, fill up the caravan. We had a couple of other pretty big challenges to face, which is having a boat this size on top of a canopy. So lots of structural work has gone into this. It's predominantly an aluminium canopy, so we've managed to keep the weight right down. We are 2.9 meters long, just over 2 meters wide to the tray. And then to fit these great big tyres under it, we've got some huge flares sticking out there to make sure it's all legal at the end of the day.
So Concept Canopies, this is actually my second canopy. So we had one on the Chev, we had it for about 2 years. We travelled through the centre, around. The only thing we didn't do was top in WA. I didn't have one bit of dust, one crack, anything in it. It was just built tough, built light, which is what you want to do. Obviously the massive payload on this truck, but I didn't want to obviously waste it with just a big old heavy canopy. And so that's why we've chosen to go on with Concept Canopies again. They're light, they're strong, and they're smart as well. So we've got the cooling system here. I've never opened up my canopy on this one or my other one and got a heat wave like other canopies as well. Single hand opening, I've always got a kit in my hand or something going on, be able to just open it up with a single. It's just smart. So yeah, that's why I went with Jake again. He's just amazing. All right, let's dive into it, Jake. So the front one is the kitchen, okay? So I want to do something total left field. Told Jake I need an ice maker, soda stream, and then we air fryer as well. I didn't want to have to pull stuff out, pack it up. It's just, you know, you want to be easy pack up. So it's on a full slide out, ready to go. And all this stays in here when we travel.
The tricky part with having all of these appliances and things like this, which are nice luxuries to have on the road, but it's putting them inside the canopy in a way that doesn't waste space. So all this stuff is tucked in, there's shelving, there's very tight tolerances inside this canopy to make sure we could get it all and have as much storage space left over. You've got your bench here, and then from where Jake's standing, a little cutlery tray for all your little bits and pieces.
We've chosen to do the soda stream and ice maker, but Jake, you could probably put, you know, whatever you want in there, really.
Yeah, you can. I mean, there's so many cool appliances and 12-volt appliances these days. Being a custom manufacturer that we are, we'll design this around your touring needs.
Yep. And when Jake said 12 volt, I've actually thrown another spare in the works and I wanted 24 volt stuff in here. And I don't even need to pull this out and plug it in or anything. This is on a full slide out, always plugged in. I just need to turn the inverter on and I'm ready to go.
Ready to go.
It's just easy. So Jake, we've opted to do the control panel here where you normally you'd have your kitchen slide. We've got 2 40 outlets here, big Victron screen which controls a big power system on the other side we'll go through soon. So another thing that Jake actually didn't tell me about, but when Jake sort of designs his canopies, he designs them for himself. So we've got kill switches on all the lights. So we've got the manual switch here, and then this one will actually kill both sides. So I don't need to go around to every light switch and turn it off to obviously shut down the canopy to travel. It's just straight in here, turn that off, and the 1 and 2 actually turn off all the USBs and all the endos as well. Like,
yeah, it does.
Just smart.
And that usability as well as tucking everything in a space that would otherwise possibly be dead space.
Yep.
So there's quite a lot going on inside this canopy. I mean, there's 2 24-volt systems on board on this truck, but we try to keep it, it's nice to have things flashy and all that sort of thing, but it's got to be usable. The way that door opens, it needs an amount of space off the front of the canopy. So we utilize that gap to house the electrics. Jake was talking about the temperature of the canopy earlier. We do a complete installation on all of our canopies here, and we find typically that we're picking up about 10 to 12 degrees different on a hot day. So you can imagine that makes a huge difference with your appliances, your fridges, your battery system, cooling while you're on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. And just little touches like we got the kill switch. Normally it'd be this big plastic box, and they've just tucked it away up in here on a little carpet slide there. So just make it nice and clean and just, easy to use. Right, so we've got a storm rolling in. We better pump this canopy out.
Let's have a look in the back here. This is largely a storage area that you requested.
Yeah.
Massive amount of space. We try to utilize it by, at the bottom, having maximum drawer space. So these are our aluminium drawer system. You've got 2 side by side, and then you've got an extra table that comes out. The drawers themselves are on a nylon slide, so really easy to maintain. And then we have these ones on the steel slide. This keeps the weight down in our drawer systems. So you've got 2 here. And then Jake, you just wanted the top open, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to be able to just throw stuff in, obviously kids' bikes, all that. And sometimes we need to hurry off, like when the storm's rolling in. So throw it all in and get it done. Also tucked a little sub up there, so when we want to have a bit of a party, we're ready to rock and roll as well. Also on the back wall.
So the walling in our canopy, we typically use an aluminium mesh. Now, the main factor for that is keeping it lightweight, right? Second to that, really easy to tie things off to. It's I guess similar to your molly panel these days. You know, you can just ocky strap or connect things directly to it. Fully insulated in the back of this one as well. And then some extra structure again, just for the weight of the boat on the roof.
And then also for lighting, there's Baja lights all the way through, tucked up some S2s in there, just so we can light up and I can not lose anything as well.
And central locking and door alarms. So central locking so no one can steal anything, but then door alarm, so if you forget to close the door before you drive off, there's an audible alarm inside the cab to remind you the door's open.
And just touching on that audible alarm, on the last Chevy, the alarm is absolutely amazing. When you pull up and in to get something out of Canopy, the kids are sleeping, it's an absolute nightmare. So the guys have once again customized this Canopy to obviously enhance the last one and put a little button in there. I click that one, I can still open it up without the button, knowing obviously I don't wake up the kids. Yeah, so fitting name, Zeus, God of Thunder has brought the rain for us, so we better get out of here.
I guess there was a few requirements for the back of this Canopy. Being able to house a 41-inch spare securely.
And still look good and functioning.
And still look good. So it's actually supported on the tray and it bolts to the canopy. And then Jake wanted some extra storage, so there's a jerry can holder on the passenger side and then the Titan Terrain off-road jack there on the right. We've integrated 240 input, so to charge from shore power, and then a whole bunch of lights up the top there, and then all your caravan stuff down the bottom.
Yeah, so we've also got air out there. So we've got solar in, big endo for the caravan ready to rock and roll, 12-pin, small endo, and then our anti-sway, or I'll probably do the electric brakes with that one as well.
And you had a requirement for this, which was bulk water. So rather than doing an under tray draw on here, we've done a couple of 100 litres worth of storage right up the centre to keep the centre of gravity, to help that stay low. You've got twin tanks, twin pumps.
Yep, twin tanks, twin pumps.
Yeah, and then we've reintegrated all of the factory options from the F550, the rear camera, all the safety features in there.
And obviously water's a massive thing for our family, so I think we've got about 350 under there, more than enough. Obviously the boat loader as well, we got the Mozzie boat loader up there. I mean, I wanted the biggest boat I possibly could. Jake was like, you sure you want to put a 410 with a 30 on the back as well? And yeah, smashed it out.
And there's a few little hidden features here, so you've got your poles for loading and unloading the Mozzie loader. So they're actually tucked away up under here, so they run up the side of the chassis rails. And then on the other side there's another access panel.
Yep, so just here, you can actually see straight in there, obviously with the air tank and then the fuel tanks back there as well. If there's any leaks, I can just look through there, check for leaks, check all that sort of stuff. And this is all obviously comes off. So we can drop all these sides down, I can get to the boat, get all that access. We've got the two S8s up top for the rear lights, and then we've got our S2s down here. So I can turn those on in the canopy, and I can turn those on from the cab as well.
With the height of the canopy, I guess we really wanted to keep it as sleek as possible, as low as possible, knowing we're going to put such a big boat on the top there. With that, you still need room inside the canopy to fit an upright fridge. So you're going against yourself there. In order to keep the canopy in line with the rack on the truck, keep the boat low, but still get this huge tyre on. We've split the rear spoiler on the canopy to house the lights, but that also gives you the extra roof space for that Mozzie loader to be the full length of the canopy.
It's one of the other good things about having such a long canopy. My toolboxes are huge. So in this side, we've literally got all our boat stuff, ice and the awning poles and all that sort of stuff. And on the other side, on the old Chev, I used to have a whole box on the back that housed all my recovery stuff. I can fit all my recovery stuff in one of these monster boxes now. So just super handy and all lockable as well. So we do pull up to those different areas, we can lock it all up.
And we've stuck with just the traditional under tray storage boxes there with the fold down lid. We can get super fancy with that. People do drawer systems and that. But if you just want bulk practical storage, your standard toolbox like that, it's the way to go.
And keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Keep it easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then inside this canopy, this is just storage again, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is just, that's going to be a mess.
But this is exactly what that area is for.
Yeah. Literally.
Chuck it in.
Doesn't have to be super neat. Massive open space. And then I've got my drawers here where I can organise stuff when I need to.
And that's the key really, isn't it? That when all that stuff isn't in there, it is just one big open space from one side to the other. Very practical.
I can actually lay down. That's how big this place is. I can lay down, use that as a bed. So.
Is that when you're kicked out of the caravan?
Yeah, that's when this is actually my doghouse, when Carly decides to kick me out. Before we go any further as well, obviously we've got the dual bushwhacker awnings as well. They fold forward, they fold back. These are the new square ones. I pulled it out yesterday. It looks unreal. And then also we've tucked a couple of S2 Bajas right across there just because I didn't think we had enough light when it's dark. And I don't want to be scared of the dark. So, and that's obviously another custom thing that Tactical have done. Get these brackets that actually just bolt on the back of the awning. Looks super clean and super neat.
What runs all this, might you ask?
Yes. What runs all this?
Segue.
All right, so this is the battery compartment from heaven, I reckon.
Yeah, the whole brains of the unit.
So the big thing, another reason why we designed such a large canopy and a big truck was with the caravan industry where it's at now, 4.5 is sort of your maximum weight. Okay, we had our old canopy, we had our old caravan, we packed everything into it. It was amazing, but it was that little bit heavy. So we had, 1,200 watts of, 1,200 amps of battery, heaps of solar. So I came to Jake and I said, mate, we need to get some weight out of the van and into the truck. Obviously got the massive payload and I need a big battery system. And Jake just plucked this out of his brain, I think.
This is, another idea of just trying to keep the weight central and as low as possible on this big rig. So there's a custom lithium battery in there, all the Victron gear. There's a considerable amount of weight there, so we've centralized it. We've doubled that into the extra strength that we've put into this canopy to hold the boat, and still kept this very functionable in here. There's still quite a lot of storage in here, but it looks pretty.
Yeah, massive amount of storage. And this will probably be where we seal our drones and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, it's a shame to cover up such a nice Perspex screen, but custom lithium, we got a 630 amp hour at 24 volt battery.
Massive.
Which is, that's huge. We've got the 5,000 watt inverter in here as well. So yes, we don't have any solar on the roof because we have the boat. However, twin 250 alternators on the truck, it pumps the power straight back into there. So yeah, literally the reason for this was to be able to pretty much charge the new van or power the new van from this system alone. Get some weight out of that, get into here.
So even though we've done the big battery system inside the canopy here, we did do the second 24 volt system underneath the seat in the back of the truck. That setup is from Outback Kitters using their structure, and then we've gone and fitted out and wired it with all the Victron gear. Now that's another great option if you don't have space in the canopy or don't need your electrics in the canopy, we can go ahead and fit it in the back of these trucks.
So we've done the power, we've done all that sort of stuff. Now the water, we've got dual inputs on this side and dual outputs on that side with, like you said before, the twin pumps.
And we've done that really from a fail-safe point of view.
Yep.
Should you have a go bad on the road and a pump fails, you've still got a backup tank and pump.
Yep, and that's obviously does happen on the road. It's not always sunshine and rainbows when you're traveling. Also, things you can't see that Jake's done on this truck. We've got a 8 system horn blaster under there just in case someone cuts me off and I need to let them know, or I'm saying goodbye to someone. We've also done a bit of a Dixie horn on the other side for the kids, for the kids. Also, yeah, and underneath, I mean, it's just structurally strong, built tough.
Yeah, look, I mean, the real key with building something like this is not only making it functional, making it strong enough, but for us, keeping it as lightweight as possible. We want to retain as much GVM. Now, you've got a huge GVM on this thing, so we had a lot to work with, but we still wanted to keep this as light as possible from a build perspective, so you can load it right up. Yeah,
and also another thing I told Jake, I still want to be able to control stuff from in the cab, so he's also thrown a 8-switch panel in there, so I control rear lights, side lights. I got my compressor in there as well, so just those functionalities of not having to get out all the time. It just works. Everything just works on it, so pretty keen to get on the road. Sweet, so that's the monster canopy, all full rundown. Mate, the first canopy blew me away. This one, I just got no words. I remember when I first saw it, I literally did not have a word to say. So mate, thank you so much. Can't wait for another trip away and get to see you on the road.
Pleasure, mate. Can't wait to see where you go with it.
Can't wait, cheers.
I am loving the Paradise leather interior in here. It is so beautiful. The custom stitching.
Yeah, because the F550 comes out obviously the lariat or below.
and the seats weren't amazing. So
We didn't get the massage seats.
Yeah, we didn't get the massage seats because you got our 450, and obviously Carly wanted the biggest truck. So. Yeah, Paradise Leatherworks have just really ripped all the seats off, and the center console and the rear seats as well, and put actual genuine leather on there, and a little bit of a
Nice little touch.
We named the truck Zeus.
Yeah, very fitting.
Yeah, and they're super comfy.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It feels so nice and soft. So he did such an amazing job.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
Yeah, he did. 10 out of 10 recommend.
So that's our FY50 build. Absolutely love it. And you know, thanks Concept Canopies, EC, Outback Kitters, G&L, and obviously everyone else, ATA, all chipping in. Like, it's a dream come true for us, and it keeps us on the road. So it puts us, we can pretty much take this thing wherever we want now. So we're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, we hope you liked it. Jake did an awesome job, and so did everyone that was involved. Let us know what you want to see. Put it in the comments below, because we'd love answering all your questions, and let us know what you want to see next.
See you on the road.